Hello, what's up? My name is Lady Calamir and I welcome you to my channel. I am doing my 206th video and it will be on the Norse goddess Sif, aka Sif. And maybe some of you know her through the movie Thor as Lady Sif in the Warriors 3. Well, we're going to be talking about her as a goddess, not as a Marvel character. And we already got chaos going. I'm not even into the minute into the video. Joker, leave her alone! Joker was beating up Miss Kitty. So anyway, here comes Joker and Lady Boss is right there. So Sif, who is she? A lot has not been written about her, or stories, or gods and goddesses were penned down by Christians. Yes, Snorri Sturluson. Snorri was a Christian. Saxo Grammaticus, who wrote about the lore over 100 years before Snorri, was a Christian. So everything has a Christian slant. Now, some people take these stories as fact, as, oh, these are the stories of our gods. And some heathens like to read between the lines or take things with a grain of salt. So much has been lost about this powerful goddess. And if we look at the titles of Thor, and that's how you actually pronounce it, Thor. One of his Hades, his titles, was as husband of Sif. His mother, Jord, was called the mother-in-law of Sif. So we're starting to see some importance of her. It was Drew Loki's of shaving her head bald that not only did she get a better head of hair, but the gods got different important gifts. Drew the dwarves, whom he basically contracted and convinced to hire to make these gifts. But let's look at her name, Sif. It means, some people just say wife. It actually means connected through marriage. It means connected through marriage. Not just wife, but connected through marriage. So one of her Hades titles, metaphors, is a word for earth. Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean the planet as a whole of earth, but there's a part of the earth, the fertile earth, the wheat and the grain. But her hair has another significance. And some people debate this because, again, so much has been lost that we have to rebuild and we have to reconstruct, or sometimes there's nothing to reconstruct. We just have to build. Sort of Jotun-true, where it's like Asatru but Jotun-true, where Jotun-true is not a reconstructionist religion. So it's a new religion, but it's based on something old. But Sif's hair, so there's the debate before I get off. 50% say yes, it's wheat. Others say it's gold. I'm in the middle here. I believe it means both. Her hair represents both. Now, if you look at the Vikings, and hair on a woman was considered very beautiful. In fact, it lent to the beauty of a woman. And married women, I can't say all of them, but they would cover their hair. Not as much as we see the Arabs in or in the Muslim religion, but they would cover their hair. So Sif's hair, so Sif, let's look at Sif. She's described as a very beautiful, desirable goddess with beautiful, long, golden locks of hair. Snorri called her a sibyl, basically a prophetess. So we see some more. She's a sibyl and a prophetess. Well, then she deals with psychic powers. So she is dealing with the earth, the land, the fertile land. And who fertilizes but other than the god Thor? So he's a sky god. So we see sky marrying earth. Perfect combination for them. So Sif is a very caregiving. She's very motherly. Her hair, when it is cut off, it is replaced by something even better. Her hair is even better. It's made of the finest gold that keeps growing. So her hair, her normal hair, shaved off, we can say, in this aspect by Loki, and I'll get into probably the reasons why he did this. It's, others just like to say, oh, he was evil, or he was just bored one day and he said, fuck it, let's go shave that hair. But I think there's deeper meanings to it that has been lost. But the shaving of her hair can also be the harvesting of the wheat, and possibly even the over harvesting, in which pisses off nature. When we over harvest the earth, there is bare earth and nothing there, unless it's again replaced. Also, we think about over mining for gold, where we exhaust the mines and there is no more gold. So again, it could represent the harvesting of the wheat and the mining for gold. Sif's hair was also considered like the fire of Sif. And we see the connection that people in the old times would connect gold with fire. As I described in one of my last videos on the Nordic deities, which was on Ran, where I described Aegir's gold. But Sif's hair, fire, dealing with gold. One thing, when we talk about the story about why Loki decided to shave her hair, is Sif had a lover, or maybe several. One of them happens to be ta-da-da, Loki Lothisen. So she had an affair with Loki. And she does have, we don't know who the father is or was written down, but she has a child, Ullr. And Thor is not the father. but Sif is the mother. Who could be the father of the child? Could it be Loki? We don't know. We just don't know. But we do know it was one of her lovers, and he could have just done it out of spite because he was jealous that, Sif wasn't his. For there was a giant, not Loki, but another giant that said he would kill all the gods, but keep Freya and Sif for himself. That's how desirable it was. So it could also been, maybe they had a lover's spat, and he goes, you know what, I'm going to just take something off Thor and, hurt her and take her hair from her. It could have been one of those things, but whatever he did it for, gifts came from it. Gifts came from harvesting the hair. Gifts came to it, so we see that through the harvesting of something, of a treasure, of one, something that's worth something, comes many treasures. And out of the treasure giving, when the gods, different gods got their gifts, Sif was the only goddess to get something. And Loki redeems himself and makes Sif better than what she was before. So her hair is part of who she was, part of her beauty, part of her allurement, part of her fertility. And she is a fertility goddess. She does deal with fertility of the land. Now, people like to say, oh, Sif's hair deals with corn. Here's the problem. Yes, in modern times we can say that, but not in ancient times, because corn came from the Americas. So and yes, we do know the Vikings came here before Columbus. There's a lot of people that came here before Columbus and, put in quotations, discovered Americas. But as we know, it was already populated by people. So Sif does have a child with Thor. Thrud, the goddess of strength. Magni and Modi were not her children, but they were Thor's children through Bjorn Saxa. But she, really, Joker, she raised those children as her own, and she loved them as her own children. I do want to give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Joker, for reminding me. This card, beautiful card, which says Temperance, is by the Runic Tarot, by Jack Sephiroth, Alan Dempster, and Jamie Elford. You can find this beautiful treasure on Amazon or your local bookstore or occult store. So it's by Los Scarabeo. Very beautiful cards, I do have to say so myself. The art is just stunning. So it does deal with runes and tarot. So if you're into runes and tarot and into the Norse deities, please check this out and get it for yourself. You will not be dissatisfied. So, great card, great deck. I do not have a statue of Sif. I recently saw one yesterday, and it would have been too late to order it. Beautiful statue showing Sif holding wheat in her hand. Long hair. And she has two swords, a long sword and a short sword, and a shield. Now, there were stories that she may have also been an ancient goddess of war. But again, a lot of that is lost. But of course, the Viking deities, they deal with war, fertility, basically fucking and raiding, but other things too. Now, one thing that I find I don't like, when people call Sif a slut because she had extramarital affairs. Okay? She is not a slut. Okay? Fuck you. Okay? She is not a slut. She's not a whore. She's not a skank. She's not the skanky wife of Thor. Sif deals with family. She deals with the home. She makes things whole and hollowed. Okay? She where Thor will ward and gird the holy spaces, the hallowed spaces that Sif makes. Sif sanctifies this place. She makes it sacred. She makes it holy. She's not mentioned too much in the Eddas. And she's usually mentioned pretty much as a peripheral goddess or corollary to her husband, Thor. So, now, she's mentioned in the Harbarth Slod and in the Lokasena. So let's go into the Harbarth Slod. I'm horrible at pronouncing that, but Thor was traveling. He needed to get somewhere, and this guy, Harbarth Slod, who was actually Odin in disguise, but Thor did not know. And Thor wanted to get across the body of water. And the ferryman said no, and then there was a shade. There was like pretty much like a throwing of insults. And at the end of this huge battle of insults, the throwing of shade, Harbor Slod said, "Your wife, Sif, is unfaithful to you. She has a lover." Thor was like, "No, she doesn't." So the ferryman did not take Thor across the river, so he had to go through the long way and think, is she cheating on me? Does she, but hey, Thor had extramarital affairs too, so hey. But we see it again that she had extramarital affairs in a Lokasena. And what happened was the gods threw a feast. Long story short, Odin had made a decree that he would not accept drink at a feast unless Loki, his blood brother, was invited for a drink. Loki found out he was not invited. He gets angry because of what Odin said that he would do, and he was angry that his own the blood brother. Now this is a serious oath of being blood brothers. We're not talking about blood brothers by blood, but mingling of blood together and swearing an oath, which Odin does not take lightly, and did not did with any of the gods. So Loki pretty much crashes the party and starts telling the truth about each deity, and flinging truthful insults at this goddess of Freya, and Sif is trying to keep the peace, so she starts pouring him ale, and he looks at Sif and he tells the gods to say, Sif has a lover and takes lovers, and basically calling her a slut, and saying that I myself have been her lover. So, and of course we see the Christian slant throwing in the Oh, if the goddess is unfaithful, she's a slut, blah blah, going for Freya, a slut, and it could be Christian slant. We gotta look at things with, we gotta really, really look at things and say, okay, what has the Christian slant here? But we see Loki admitting to being a lover, one of Sif's lovers. It's just that that's not his main squeeze. We know that Loki's main squeeze is Sigyn. Sif is the main squeeze of Thor, is his wife. So we see the accusations again coming out that she has taken lover. And we already know that Ullr is her child, her biological, but is not a biological child of Thor. So Sif's hair was as precious to her as Thor's hammer. So when Thor loses his hammer, it's the same thing as when she loses her hair. The vitality, the beauty, that's part of her charms and her power. So I think you can understand of her losing her hair. And it is a pretty cruel trick, even in modern days. If you had a ponytail and someone cuts your ponytail, or someone shaves your head, it'd be the same scenario. Sif's colors are gold and yellow. So gold and yellow are her colors. So some offerings that you can give her, modern as well as, well, some of them are just modern. Corn. Raw corn you can put on her altar, cooked corn. Make her boiled corn, roasted corn, bread, anything made with wheat. Think of crackers, cookies, bread, cakes. Some of her herbs and offerings is also meadowsweet, goldenrod, corn. So even bowl of cereal, but also more back to offerings like just a bowl of cereal. Beautiful yellow flowers, pieces of gold and gold jewelry. Miss Kitty, what's going on? She's got a toy. You can offer her mead. She does adore mead and honey. Give her sweet candies. Is she approachable? Yes, very much so. She's very approachable. Even to the timid, she is approachable. So the improper way of running your home would be contradicted to Sif. Stop! Sif, as we see, is a stepmother So we see her adopting children as her own. So we see her not only we see her in her mother aspect. So she's very motherly. If you're new to the channel, just understand I got a lot of cats here. We have 8 cats. So time to go see what's going on with Miss Kitty today. That sounds like she's got a toy, but I just want to make sure. I will be right back. Really, Miss Kitty? You got a toy, huh? You okay, girl? You want to play? Come on. Here, go play with your toy. Nothing to worry, folks. It was the toy like I suspected. That's how she gets. She's got a toy. Miss Kitty is the black cat, the little white spot. So, and we still have Lady Boss there. Oh, I do want to show you that beautiful statue of Sif, and I am going to Amazon right now, and maybe you guys can snag it for yourself. Really? This is not working. My internet is down. Seriously? Oh, there it goes. I got the internet back on, I think. So just hold on. See. And I do want to show you this statue, but I don't want my name to be shown here, so oh, come on. Well, there, I can't show it because I just it doesn't matter. You know what? Look it on Amazon. Put down Sif Goddess statue, and you'll see. So she deals with the fertility of the land. She deals with raising of children. And she does deal with making things sacred. So some people have associated her with the season of summer. And hopefully I can try to do this again. It won't expand. There we go. If y'all could see that. It's not absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the detail is great. It's $69.86 for an 8 inch statue of resin bronze statue. It's really, really beautiful. You can also see Sif in Gods of War game. Now, I'm not a gamer, but they really did her justice and honor in that video game. And let me show you this. They put her with the rune Dagos. As you could see, the rune of Dagos is being, and she's in a field of flowers, and that's what she does, deal with the field and wheat and stuff. So they have her in a card of temperance. Bigger picture. again from the Runic Tarot. And there's not much descriptions about her. So we do see that Sif does deal with transformation, transmutation of her hair being cut off and Loki replacing it with magic gold hair that continues to grow like natural hair and that is more beautiful than her regular hair. So that's transmutation. She, again, she is a prophetess, she is a Sibyl, so we think about psychic powers here. We think about telling the future, not just possible future, but what is to come. There's some things we can change, some things we cannot. Sometimes I say if an accident's meant to happen, sometimes it could be a difference between a crushing accident or a little fender bender, and dealing with the, maybe have to deal with insurance. Or if you were meant to fall down, it's the difference between breaking your leg and scraping your knee. But sometimes shit's meant to happen. So we think about being a prophetess, being a psychic. We think about the job that the priestess has, and one of the jobs. So we just even think about like the simple yes and no questions with your pendulum. So that's how she was also described, as the Sibyl. But of course, Snorri Sturluson made our gods, and did she say they were humans? They were actually humans that became worshipped. So no, my god, my gods weren't just regular old humans. Okay, whether you see them as gods or deified ants, even this deified ancestors have powers and powers of nature. I don't just, again, Snorri was coming saying there was only one God, and who sacrificed his only son, Jesus, and no. Sif is a goddess. She is a goddess of nature. She is the earth as in nature. Sif is a goddess of compassion, and she has empathy, and she cares. Okay, so she lives with Thor in Thrudheim, the whole house of power. She has a powerful daughter whose means strength. She even offers, we see that she offers Loki a horn of mead, and we see some of her offering of mead to bring peace. And mead was a drink, and we see her as offering this drink that is very important to the gods, that they love. So we see her as peacemaker and the offering of peace. She is said, speculate to even have brought worth to Thrudheim, to Thor's house, the house of strength. She brings worth. She increases worth. She increases our own worth, our house's worth, and she teaches us how to maintain our own worth and our own beauty, and to grow our beauty. So again, the northern lore, the goddesses are not lesser than the gods. They are equal to the gods in power. They are not less in power. So this would be, so we see Sif adding glory to the house of Thor. Thor. She is a mighty goddess, and not just a peripheral goddess. But so much has been lost about her. So she deals with the earth. She's the power of beauty and glory and wealth. She's the goddess of joy. She's the goddess of loss through her hair, but also gain. And we can see that as harvesting, or as well as mining for gold. So she is the goddess of bountifulness. She's the goddess of grace. She is patient with her guidance to you. So she teaches the home to be gentle and to be productive and to be a caring home. She is a stepmother, yes, to Magni and Modi, but she is not the wicked stepmother. She is the loving stepmother. She's the nurturer. So I think I'm going to sum this up because, again, you need to find your to talk to Sif and learn through her gentle guidance. Where Marvel shows her, in the movie shows her with black hair, she actually has golden hair. Where she is married to Thor. In Marvel, she is not married to Thor, as they call him Thor. So Sif will deal with the family unit. And whoever you see as family, especially the family that lives in the home. Ow, you little, stop. She is an Aesir. I forgot to mention that she's Aesir. The Aesir. Aesir. No. Why did you turn on the TV? My God. You are annoying. I'm so sorry, guys. Shut up. Who cares about the news? I'm so sorry. Thanks, Joker. I am so embarrassed. I do not want to start this video again. I am so sorry. Thank you for turning on the TV and turning on the news. He wanted to watch TV. Joker. I would expect that from Loki the cat, but not you. And where is Loki? Loki is running around somewhere. Yeah, I have a cat named Loki Lofison. So anyways, sorry about that. I do hope you enjoy my video and you get a laugh at it too, with the crazy cats. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my video so I know that I'm doing a good job and my channel grows. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you to everyone who watches it, whether you're a subscriber or not. I thank you. And I give a special thanks to my subscribers. Please share my video with your friends and your family. And with your kith and your kin. And your home. In your coven. And please always be patient with cats and dogs. I know sometimes they can raise your blood pressure and drive you nuts, but they're worth it, trust me. And if you see a cat, a dog that needs a good home, and if you have a spot in your home, please give it to them. You know, if you find a cat, a dog out in the street, you never know if you might find your best friend. Okay, so one of the cats we have here was found in the street. And they're rescues, so we got rescues here too. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and as always, blessed be.